You think you're stuck. You're not. Most people believe or think that they have a motivation problem, and they tell themselves, I just need a bit more discipline about that. I just need to get my life together. I just need to stop procrastinating all the time. I just need to be a bit more confident. But what if none of that is actually true? What if the very thing that you've been trying to fix isn't the real problem at all? Because from where I sit, after working with hundreds of people, I've noticed something that changes everything. People rarely stop because they lack motivation. They stop because an old version of themselves is quietly pulling on the handbrake. Not because it's trying to sabotage them at all, because it's trying to protect them. Let that sink in. The version of you that hesitates, overthinks, procrastinates, people pleases, stays in unhealthy relationships, settles for work that just drains your soul, or keeps saying, I'll do it when I'm ready, isn't your enemy. It's just a survival strategy. It was built during a season of your life when it genuinely believed those behaviors would keep you emotionally safe. Perhaps there was a time when speaking up led to rejection, so you learned to stay quiet. Perhaps asking for what you needed was actually ignored, so you learned that everyone else's needs came first. Perhaps you were criticized every time you tried something new, so your nervous system decided that staying small felt safer than risking failure. Those decisions weren't made consciously. They became part of your identity, not because they reflected who you truly are, because they reflected who you needed to become to survive what you were actually living through at that time. And here's where so many people become trapped. Life changes. Your circumstances change, your opportunities change, but your identity doesn't automatically update with them. So today, you might want to start that business. You want to maybe leave the relationship. You might want to go and travel. You might want to start writing that book. You might want to apply for that promotion or that new venture in your work. You might want to just become a little bit more healthier. You might want to actually be seen. Yet inside, something just whispers inside you. Maybe next week. Maybe when I know more. Maybe when I have more money. Maybe when the kids are older. Maybe when I feel ready. You call it procrastination. Well, I call it protection, because your survival identity still believes the world is as dangerous as it once was. It hasn't realized that you're no longer living in a chapter that created it. That's why trying harder rarely works. You can't bully a survival pattern into disappearing. You have to understand it. And when you understand it, you stop judging yourself. You stop believing you're lazy. You stop believing you're broken. And you stop believing you're weak. Instead, you begin asking a different question. What is the pattern trying to protect me from? That question changes everything, because awareness creates choice. And choice, well, it's where freedom begins. And this is the work I do every single day. Not fixing people, not motivating people, helping them recognize the unconscious patterns that have quietly been making their decisions for years. Because the moment you see the pattern begins to lose its power. So let me ask you something. What pattern have you noticed repeating in your life lately? Not the behavior, not the pattern beneath it. I'd love to hear it. Tell me in the comments. You may discover you're not stuck at all. You're simply living from a version of yourself that was built to survive a life you've already outgrown. Now stay with me for all the posts this week.